Don't tell me you're still eating. Forgive my unconventional opening, but believe me, the head honchos of the BBC are getting ever more determined in their efforts to prevent me collecting their cock-ups, exposing their shortcomings, and hanging their bloomers out to dry. But their threats of violence and torture don't scare me. After all, I've shared a dressing room with Ulrika. My reputation as the bravest man in television, apart from the dialogue coach to the Teletubbies, has been earned the hard way. I was not to be denied. If only they'd tried to bribe me. I can be bought. Anyway, if you think the worst thing that's happened to you today was leaving the giblets in, then you're obviously not one of the stars from every show from EastEnders to City Central, from Jonathan Crick to Vanity Fair, whose careers get the old sage and onion tonight. Spare a thought for the unfortunate staff employed here, because while the people work, occasionally, none of the technology ever does.
And we're hoping, desperately hoping, that Richard Branson can speak to us now from his balloon. Mr. Branson, give us a progress report if you can. Well, I did tell you we were desperately hoping. I didn't understand a word of that. Perhaps you did, but we'll press on.
This is another thing. You're driving along. You know that awful feeling when you're driving along the motorway and you start to get drowsy? Well, this is the answer. Plug this into your dashboard, put that under your feet, and set the alarm. When it goes off, that alerts you, and you press that, and you stop it. Keeps you awake. Finally, very quickly, stop, quiet, stop it. Stop it. Now, very quickly, bottle of champagne, how do you open it? Well, you do it like this. This is the easy way to do it. Sorry about that thing keeping... Stop. Stop. Oh dear. Well, anyway, I can assure you, you can open this with no trouble at all. And meanwhile, over to Sophie. Over to Sophie.
Temperatures a little bit higher in the south than today, up to around 9, 10 or 11 Celsius. That's the low 50s Fahrenheit. Unfortunately, I can't leave you with the summary, but if I could tell you it's going to be bright with some wintry showers in the far north.
Would you know a good invention when you saw one? How about this? Whoa! You see, it's a live show.
It must be said the under-manager for tailgate design has been thinking hard too. Look, he's given us lights way up here for better rear visibility. He's given us a remote control facility for opening the boot lid, which... He's given us a remote control device for unlocking the boot. He's put the tail lights way up here so following traffic can see them more easily. He's given us a remote control facility for unlocking the boot, which hasn't worked again, you useless German piece of... He's given us a remote control device for unlocking the boot. We're still doesn't.
And I'll be reporting on the young engineers given 5 hours to build one of these.
You don't need me to tell you that BBC television is a mysterious business. Anyone who's ever wondered how and why one of Doctor Who's assistants traversed several galaxies in order to run Giuseppe's and EastEnders knows that for themselves. I don't think it's quite as it seems around here. People appear and disappear as random inanimate objects come to life, sometimes when you're interviewing them. I myself have had close encounters involving the appearance of bizarre visual phenomena and weird, unintelligible sounds. And the really peculiar thing is how the UK entry always comes second.
Typical. You having me on? All right, the answer's yes. Of course I'm sure. If I say yes, I mean yes. Look, I have the papers signed and round to you by this afternoon. Cheers.
Don't fall down the...
Don't fall down, Mum. Whatever you do, don't fall down.
Buenas noches. Good evening.
Good evening.
You an enchiladas?
Thank you.
Enjoy your dinner.
Gracias. Mm.
In fact, it's the first fall in profit since 1992. That's the last recession. We blame all sorts of things. Excuse me. Thanks very much. This is the audience walking out. I hope you're all still there at home, anyway.
Be gone, don't care you, and I shall never regret. Long time hast thou been tarrying, I find thou wouldst me kill.
This fella gave me great pleasure playing for Liverpool Football Club, but over 60 times for England as well. Will you please welcome Ray Clements? Well, that's his Andy. He's only been on a minute and he's off.
When you cross this line here, you're out of Rome and into the Vatican State. And this is a separate country. It's got its own shops, newspaper, postal system, and also international broadcasting service. It's a centre for Catholics. And behind me here is the Sistine Chapel, and over beyond is where the smoke shows when a new pope has been elected. And if you look at those windows over there,
I suppose a weedy boy would... Hello, hello, hello.
So that poltergeist again, is it? Seems to be the theme these days, doesn't he?
Why don't you shut up or I'll ram this down your throat?
You would think.
2 against 1 isn't fair. Stop it! Right. Oh.
Oh, this is beaut. I've left my Cody ring behind in London. Looks like...
There's no doubt pennyworth is nasty stuff, but you can help in the fight against it. Over the next couple of weeks, while the plant is fully grown, if you spot it in a river or a ditch or a pond, then make a note of where it is and phone up the Environment Agency. They'd love to hear from you. I've seen some over here. Oh!
Of course, when it comes to investigating the causes of such strange events, you know my methods, Watson. First, eliminate the impossible. Put it to one side, use it as a storyline for Howard's Way. Now, you know, some of the finest detective minds Actors' Equity has ever produced have been applied to the mystery of why nothing seems to go right in front of a BBC camera. Extensive inquiries have proved only one thing. When it comes to BBC crime drama, a policeman's lot is not a happy one.
Regular Casanova, aren't you? Charge him. Oh, this back. Oh, like agony, only worse. It's your lucky day.
CID should have copped that.
No.
Here. CID should have copped that.
Yeah, I know.
Here.
I have more than one car. This one was in a garage, locked up. I didn't even know till now it was missing.
Problem is, there's no sign of a break-in to the car.
So perhaps it was stolen by someone I know.
Oh?
We found the car Shelley Marsh was abducted in.
So perhaps it was stolen by someone I know.
Oh?
We just don't like each other, okay?
Is that what the argument was about 3 weeks ago?
When the police were called round to Jackson's house to deal with a breach of the peace, you were charged with...
Threatening behaviour.
I broke the bed.
Now, one area where the white heat of technological change is singeing everybody's eyebrows is television news. State-of-the-art graphics, live two-way satellite links to the back of beyond and back again, incisive 24-hour coverage. Who are they kidding? Inside every BBC reporter is an entertainer bursting to get out. Take this report from the BBC's distinguished political editor, Robin Oakley.
But even if the right to stage the World Cup is won, getting the goals to make it another home victory could be a whole lot harder. Robin Oakley, BBC News, Wembley.
Yeah, but then look at how he actually wanted to do it.
But even if the right to stage the World Cup is won, getting the goals to make it another home victory could be a whole lot harder. Robin Oakley, BBC News, Wembley.
Now, you'll be wondering why Newcastle paid £7 million for Duncan Ferguson, when heading ability like that was available for £20 and luncheon vouchers. If you still don't believe me, here's further proof that in the world of round-the-clock news, it's laugh-a-minute stuff.
Hello, I'm Alistair Yates with a summary of the world news. The Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif has addressed the nation, blaming the President and the Chief Justice for the constitutional crisis in Pakistan. Mr. Sharif indirectly accused the President of trying to destabilize the government.
Now, other news from around Europe. The British Foreign Secretary, Malcolm Rifkin, has been in Paris today. He saw President Chirac, and afterwards he said that there were... Oh, you stupid little... Oi. Barrez-vous, hein?
Now, of all the world's birds, the humble pigeon doesn't usually generate much excrement. Much excitement. It's found almost everywhere and is often seen as a pest, the pigeon, that is.
The report also recommends that youngsters like Reese should be treated by dedicated paediatric teams instead of staff who also treat adults. Its recommendations have been accepted in full by the government, which next month carries out a review into which hospitals should be the dedicated regional centres of excellence. Matthew Hill, BBC News, Bristol.
And our correspondent, John Sopel, is in Washington.
Hello. Donald McCormick joined me and Nicky Marks for The World Today, and the day America's third most powerful politician, Newt Gingrich, finds out if he can keep his job as Speaker of the House of Representatives, despite admitting unethical conduct. The decisive vote is expected shortly. Also in the programme, the East German master spy, Markus Wolf, returns to court to plead not guilty to charges from the Cold War. And amid Orthodox Christmas celebrations, the Serbs... Oh, hell.
Sixth formers and college graduates training for a teaching career is falling fast. To find out why, the National Union of Teachers is interviewing thousands of young people to find out why teaching is such a turn-off. The head of the NUT's education department is John Bangs. He's in our central London studio. He was in our central London studio, but he seems to have disappeared.
And that's news so far this morning. Let's have a quick look at today's weather. Many places will be cloudy this morning, and there could be little drizzle for a while. This afternoon will be dry with some sunny spells expected at times, especially in the west of the region.
Not much of a laughing matter. But in fact, this is... We're just trying to get Isabel onto her special podium.
Yes, you have to understand, Isabel has to stand on the stand.
Soon.
It's a little platform, and she's climbing up on it now.
It's a miracle.
And
Comedy of our own.
She's now adult height and can give us the weather. Isabel.
I need a rest.
Courage, Camille. Even those examples where the wheels came off the juggernaut that is BBC News don't hold a candle to this from that paragon of BBC regional news programmes, East Midlands Today. Picture the scene. 5:45, presenters Quentin Rayner and Kate Squire are recording a trail for that evening's programme to go on air just before 6 o'clock.
Hello, I'm Quentin Rayner.
And I'm Kate Squire. Tonight on East Midlands Today.
A neighbour's photos and video convicts a man of cruelty to his pet dog. Hello, I'm Quentin Rayner.
And I'm Kate Squire. Tonight on East Midlands Today.
A neighbour's photos and video convicts a man of cruelty to his pet dog.
Cue.
Hello, I'm Quentin Rayner.
And I'm Kate Squire. Tonight on East Midlands... Sorry. I've never done that before. That was all you. Do it again. Come on, do it again. I'm all right now.
It's going to be live, isn't it?
No, quite. Can't be live. Come on, go for it.
I can't do this live.
You're going to have to in a
Think
minute.
something awful.
Hello, I'm Quentin Rayner.
And I'm Kate Squire. Tonight on East Midlands Today.
You did it. Hello, I'm Quentin Rayner.
It's awful. It's truly awful.
Hello, I'm Quentin Rayner.
And I'm Kate Squire. Tonight on East Midlands Today.
A neighbour's photos and video convicts a man of cruelty to his pet. Hello, I'm Quentin Rayner.
And I'm Kate Squire. Tonight on East Midlands Today.
A neighbour's photos and video convicts a man of cruelty to his pet dog.
And we book an appointment with Casper the Cat, who's got everybody talking down at his local library.
We'll bring you the full story in half an hour.
And up sounds. And mixed. Shut the mics. Who's flipping red?
Now, my years in the television trenches have taught me several painful, but nonetheless valuable lessons. 1, never eat anything they send you. 2, never drink 1 for 1 with anyone from religious programs. 3, and most important, never tell Rolf Harris you feel as sick as a dog. He'll have you up on that operating table for exploratory surgery before you can say Jack Russell. Speaking as someone who turned up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed from my very first day as BBC television presenter training academy, shoes brightly polished, pencil freshly sharpened. Yeah, things were different before the war. We had the crispy bacon for a start. The most important advice I can give you is that once you've been ensnared by old Auntie, doesn't matter how you're traveling, you're on the road to nowhere.
He got to have the moor all day yesterday, and now he wants to have it today as well. That's not fair. Get on. Get on. Mr. Quigley, where you going?
Nowhere.
Ceart, I'm smeig gael hwlwrwydach yn mynisht. He jacam a chwrgole agus yn ysgwtr mi hyn asyn, he jacam stad chwrir. Ceart. Mach a sio.
Trouble, my little English flower.
I've already got some help, thanks.
Or this. Up.
But now there are signs that people are returning, and soon they'll have even more reason to do so.
With the boom in cycling holidays in this part of mid-Wales, the women-only cycle shop is gearing up for business. As for me, I prefer a lazier type of cycle ride. Steve Jones, BBC Wales Today, Llanrhaid ym Mochland.
From what you've witnessed tonight, you'll be aware that working here can be desperately stressful. People get into such a state, quite often, they just don't know what they're saying. Why else do you think I said yes to blankety blank? As you watch these tragic examples of people getting their tongues well and truly twisted, do offer them solace, succor, and sympathy.
Barbara and I were discussing who's better looking, Brad Pitt or Les Dynam.
So I said $4 grand, I do.
Yes.
Right, I'm just going to take Courtney and Tiffany out.
Courtney and Tiffany. Am I Frida? Do I look like a dog? Is there any comparison?
Freudian sleep.
Kathleen, you had a great career as an opera singer, and then something went wrong. What was that?
Well, in the late summer of 1995, I started feeling quite unwell, and I went to my GP and was taken into Charing Cross Hospital with a large tumour.
And what was the trouble?
Sorry, I just got a bit carried away.
Right, now sit down.
Yes.
Right. Now this time, I'll be the applicant.
Right, wait, have we done it this way once?
Yeah, what? This time, I'll be the applicant.
Wait, haven't we done it this way? Oh.
You would normally be looking at what we call the 4 Ps of marketing. One is the product. Number 2, you need to look at your prices. The third P is your location.
Built into it. You couldn't get them on. The costume's already got a pair of boots built in. You couldn't get them on over. You wouldn't be able to get them on over. You wouldn't get them on. You know what? I don't think I'm going to be able to say that right.
There's an 18-year waiting list. Any proposals to put in a sort of fast-track system so that women can be seen to be in the club rather sooner than later? I'll be out of games for a bit.
Thank you very much indeed. Because if you must know, I went out with a drink for... Because if you must know, I went out with a drink for...
Just stop making excuses and face facts. You're making it sound like an accusation. We all care about and you want to help. You simply can't turn a blind ear to your hearing.
A blind ear. I don't understand.
Oh, well, first of all, you see, you screw up some paper, then you put the tubing on,
I
and then you
mean,
put...
what are you talking about? We've been coming here and doing this every year since 1998.
This man Carlos here knows this track like the back of his hand. back on wheels again. I think that's supposed to do soon. Okay.
I suppose when you work for the BBC, you should be prepared for disappointment. I still haven't quite got over being turned down at the last minute for the role of Mr. Darcy in Pride and Prejudice. Apparently the budget wouldn't stretch to the required size of riding breeches. I wasn't happy with the suggestion of a smaller part either. It's a hard old business. Some days, you'd be better off in bed.
Let's hope it's not serious. You're in bondage, I take it? I beg your pardon? Let's hope it's not serious. You're in bondage, I take it? I beg your pardon? Let us hope it's not serious. You're in bondage, I take it? I beg your pardon? You're a slave? Yes.
Actually, Bridget's got a problem of her own.
What?
Should she be a star here on Time Cable or a student? What do you think? Phone us now with your vote. 0891-2256 for student. 0891-22555 for star.
Whoa! 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 That's a four.
Of course, that's wildlife. Wildlife is a big thing here at the BBC. Believe me, if you'd ventured into the party after the Eurovision Song Contest, you'd have seen plenty. Control programs flushed with failure, let his hair down, took his teeth out, and did his famous impersonation of the last turkey in the shop. However, this is wildlife of a different kind. Oh, good, you cry, it's Ulrika. Wrong again.
The insect invasion is great news for scientific study, but not so for those under siege. From local farmers to visiting tourists who may see more bugs than they've bargained for.
His special whistle.
Special whistle?
Yeah, the instructor said he can't concentrate and he gets too easily distracted. He'll come when he hears this.
Broken.
No, it isn't. It's higher than we can hear. He says it's the only thing that gets the attention of dogs that are not very bright.
It didn't move.
Dad took him to obedience classes.
When?
Thursday evenings when you do your baking. You need his special whistle.
Special whistle?
Yeah, the instructor said...
Right, I've done all the housework. Rona's out getting the sandwich things, and your father's finally...
And certainly if you're doing the water again today, you couldn't do that. You'd need to use footpaths and old railway lines like this to make the walk attractive.
Fancy carrying on. I don't know whether we'll get
Yeah.
to East Grinstead, John. But
Well,
we
it's
might
quite a long
go
way.
today. We'll try.
Yeah.
Come on, Bertie. Come on. Come on.
We have really got a surplus of beef, and we think that the price to the farmer will increase if the sales will increase.
You, of course, have to persuade other countries to take British beef, and that's not easy, is it?
We've got a bit of a problem here with the sound.
Sorry.
Because the cow is eating the, or trying to eat the thing that's in my ear. Never mind, Stuart, we'll have another go.
You knew that Mr. Snetterton had been in hospital the day before. It was the dog that threw me.
Shoot! Shoot! Big feet! Shoot! 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 6 feet! Shoot! Shoot! 6
Now, chums, the time has come to draw down the curtain on another collection of calamity-ridden careers, and if you'll forgive me, I must get on. I come here to dilly and dally. Somehow managed to mislay the map, which might help me find my way out of here and back to the rabbit warren that is Radio 2. Still, not to worry. I think I left it in one of these boxes containing untransmitted episodes of El Dorado.
Make your Christmas night complete with BBC One. The big movie Babe is just half an hour away, right after Changing Rooms at Christmas from the Isle of Arran. Next.